Hey guys, so today I'm actually going to do a little bit of an experiment. I am going to start soil blocks, but I thought it would be fun to actually make my own soil block that's round and compare it to a traditional soil block. Now, this is just a cheap soil blocker that I got off of Temu last year, and it's very, very flimsy, and at some point it's going to break because it's just plastic and, like I said, just very flimsy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to just the area where we keep our extra pieces and parts and things like that, dig through there. I'm going to make two different sizes, and I'm going to take you along on that journey. Let's go. So I don't know what size this pipe is right here. I'm thinking maybe it's 1.5 inches or so, but I'm gonna cut a little piece of this, and then I'm gonna make one that's also, I think this is 2 inches. So I'm going to cut some of this as well. I think I'm only going to make it about, I don't know, 2 inches or so long. So I think that is the first place to start, and it really doesn't matter. I'm not going to measure it. I'm not going to measure it because there's no science to this at all. So first things first, cutting the pipe. So this is a pipe cutter, PVC pipe cutter, and it is just too small for what I need. I thought I had a bigger one. If you have a bigger one, you can use this. But since I don't, I am going to just cut it on that saw right there. Okay, now that I've got my two pieces cut, I need to find a circle saw. I think that's what they're called. That will basically cut something to fit inside of this. So ladies, what do we do when we need stuff like that? We go in our husband's trucks. So Adam's got all of these little bits here, these drill bits, circle saw bits. And what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna fit them inside of this. And that one is 1 3/4. And then this one is 2 inch here. Yeah, so I think this is what I want. This is a 2 inch right here. These are very easy to use. They basically just go right into a drill. Like that. And then you drill. So I'm going to drill in some wood. And like I said, I'm just using scrap pieces of things that we have just kind of laying around. So this is ultimately not costing me anything, which is nice, because free is good. That damn turkey. All right, let me find a place to set you. I think this is just too thick, so I would like to find a piece of like fence board or something, because it's thinner, to drill my dabber pusher thing. So I have this right here, and I'm gonna give this a try to see if this will be sturdy enough. Is it supposed to make that noise? It's not supposed to be making that noise, huh?
Got the wrong drill.
Oh.
Got the wrong drill.
This one is? Alright, I was using the wrong drill. Let's try that again. Okay. Hubby says if it doesn't go through, flip it over and go from the other side. Oof, oof. And this is the part we want to use right here. So it'll plunge, it'll compact all the soil in there, and then you can plunge it out. So give you one tip. If the hubby lets you use his tools, you make sure you put them back, because he'll never let you use them again. So, back they go. All right, so the idea here is to take, I'm gonna have to find longer screws, but let's see, I thought there were more washers. Yeah. All right, I am looking for washers and a longer screw. Actually, that is not true. I'm doing this one myself with all my friends, okay? I'm gonna find some washers and some screws. Is this the place where I would find washers and screws? I see screws.
I'm already dealing with some frustrating shit with the Toyota. Like, what kind of washer?
To build up, like build them up. It doesn't matter, because the idea. Well, that doesn't fit, that one.
I have a bunch of those.
Well, whatever you have a bunch of.
What do you have to build it up for?
Because the idea is that it'll be high enough like this. When I'm pushing it, this will leave a divot in the soil to put a seed. So it's gonna go like this. It's gonna go, and then the soil block will come out, and then the divot will be on top. Just humor me, okay?
That's why I don't have that at work.
I'll give them back. I really don't even need 12. You done with me? Shh, don't tell him I'm not gonna use all those washers that he got me. He might be mad at me. That's kind of what I'm going for, right there. Now I just gotta find a couple of screws that are long enough. Make sure to put these back. All right, so that might work. Now I just gotta be really nice to my guy to see if he'll cut those for me. Maybe I can find something that's already cut though. Let's try that first. Let's go see what we can find. So, this is the firewood kindling. That'll probably work if I can get it to not crack. We're gonna try those. All right, so the best way to go about this in hopes that it won't crack is to find a countersink bit. I know they're around here somewhere. He's got to have like a whole kit somewhere. Oh, look. Look what I found. So you want to make sure that it's not too big. All right, so I got two. I think they're probably the same size. I'm going to start with that. I have more of this where that came from. So I don't know if this is gonna work. Carefully drill your hole. Okay, here we go. Make sure it's center, I guess. About as center as it can be. And it's gonna crack the wood. Here we go. I mean, it's not center. but I think it'll do. All right, I'm going to make my own soil blocking recipe. You can Google very easily and quickly soil blocking recipes and you will come up with a number of different ones. I am just going to go with compost, perlite, coco coir, and sand from my pond. And I'm going to blend those all together. So I think I'm going to add just a little bit more water in there because I want it to hold together. So let's see. Okay. So when I squeeze it, it doesn't drip water and it holds together. So I guess the only thing to do now is to start soil blocking. So let me make some room and then we'll get to it. Okay, so I've got 2 of these trays right here. These are just the bottom waterers, or the trays that all of my plants over there have been sitting in. And I figured this would be easy because I'm gonna bottom water my little seed starts once I get them in there, and these are raised, so and they fit right on those heat mats. So I'm going to use these. I'm going to do 1 tray with the round and 1 tray with the square blocker. So I'm not sure what the best way to position the camera is so that you can see everything that's going on, but I suppose that I will just start with filling up the soil blocker. And the reason that I feel like this one will break soon is because you want to get in there and kind of be really forceful with making these blocks so that they're compacted and they hold together. And I feel like if I do that against the side, it's just going to break. So when I do this, I just come in and I just kind of push from the bottom. And then when making your blocks, push down on this and you just pull up, and there are your soil blocks. I did forget to add tape here, so since my hands are already dirty, I'm just going to continue making these blocks here, and then when I can wash my hands, I will add tape so that I know what I'm planting. I think I'm only going to go 4. I'm going to go the whole way down. All right, now that these are done, I'm going to switch spots with the trays. Now, I have no idea how to even begin to work one of these. So I'm just going to kind of wing it. I don't even know what size I want to use before. Maybe I'll use the bigger one to start because those are more same size. And then just for fun to see how this one works, I'll do 1 row in the back of the small one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just come in here and I'm going to load up this circle here with dirt, the PVC pipe with dirt, and I'm just going to press it like that. So the dirt is mostly compacted in there. Come over here and maybe just press it down again to get a good compaction, and then lift off the PVC pipe. So that's pretty tall. and it's got a nice little divot in there, just like these ones do, to hold a seed. So I am going to fill this tray up and we'll talk about it. Oops. Shit. I am going to go through and redo some of these bigger ones. There's just too much soil. It's not necessary. So I'm going to do that, but I would say that, so I got 9 rows here, 8 rows here. I would say that honestly, this is less soil over here on this side than this side. And this took the same amount of time, if not a little bit less time, to do this over here. So really, if you want a free way to soil block and you have the supplies, I would say give this a try before you go and buy one of these contraptions, because they can be a lot more expensive. I was going to do some of this size in there, but I just thought better of it because I figured if I started to mess with it too much that I would end up ruining all of my soil blocks and then I would just get mad. But I wanted to touch on a couple of things. So this is a 2-inch PVC pipe, and I used like a 2 9/16. I can't remember off the top of my head, but a little bit over a 2-inch circle saw to make my dowel presser. And a couple of things that I realized while doing this, and I'll show you, is how to hold your circle soil block and then how to release the soil from in there, because if you push too hard, as you saw, I messed up a couple of them. And that was just because I didn't have the technique right. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So the first thing is you don't want to do it more than half full. I would say that's a good amount of dirt right there, just about half full. And then just hold it with the palm of your hand, just kind of making sure that the dirt doesn't fall in. And you can kind of pat it down a little bit, roll it around and smack it like on the bottom of your hand to compact the bottom part. And then just set it on the tray like that. Take your plunger, and of course you're just going to press down, maybe go around in a circle a little bit just to get those outer edges. And then to release it, what I found easiest was to sort of, let's see if I can do this with the opposite hand, lift up, because the whole thing is just going to be in there. So lift up just a little bit and start pushing. Now this is the opposite hand that I'm used to using, but you see how it released it when I pushed it just a little bit? And then you can just take it off like that and remove the dowel, because what will happen is, let's see if I can get this back in here. What will happen if you're not careful is, and this is what I was doing at first, and I was very nervous about doing it, is pushing down on the stick and pulling up, although that did work. But if you have more soil, you're gonna smash it. So the easiest thing, like I said, is to, once you have it compacted, is to just lift it up a little bit and then start plunging it out and then pull it over. And if you're a beginner gardener and you just want to try new things out, see if you like it or you don't like it, I definitely would recommend the homemade version of the soil blocker. But that is it. Next time you see me, I am going to be planting and doing another experiment with these 2 different sets of soil blockers. So I hope that you will stick around to check that out. Other than that, thank you so much for hanging out with me. get out there, plant a garden of your own, and I'll see you next time. Bye.